Hello and welcome back to another operator overview. Today we're going to be going over Pulse. We're going to be going over his ability. We're going to be going over his guns. We're going to be going over his, play style and things that you can look for when you're using him, and kind of the suggestion about who would like to play Pulse and who might not like his play style. So firstly, we're going to go over he is a difficulty level 3. He is the highest tier of difficulty. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I do understand that you kind of have to use his ability in a specific manner. Like it's not a passive ability. It's not something you just set up and then forget about it. It's something that you actively have to use to make it useful. So I guess I do understand kind of the higher level of difficulty for him. He is a speed 3, which is also highest tier, and he is an armor 1, which is the lowest tier. His ability is the cardiac sensor, and basically what it is you open up this device and you'll move around, and enemy heartbeats, so basically any enemy you can see within a certain radius of the heartbeat sensor will appear as a red dot, and you'll see this in the game that we'll play a little bit later on, and you'll kind of get a little bit better understanding. But it will appear as a little red dot, and it will flash, and you'll get points for viewing them, and then you can track them through walls or barricades or anything like that to then try to identify. Either you can tell your team where they're at, or you can use it to your own advantage, shoot through the wall, or just kind of make sure you're keeping track of where people are around the map. He is a very good roaming operator is what he is. So from here we can move on to his loadout. He has a shotgun and a submachine gun. I run the submachine gun. We've talked about this a lot in the past. It's mostly just because you're more versatile at longer range with the submachine gun than you are a shotgun. Not to say that pulse with the shotgun's not good. It's just that I feel like you win more fights with the submachine gun at longer range than you would with the shotgun. His secondaries are both a handgun, so M45, and the 5.7, similar to Ash and Thermite. So we talked about those earlier. I usually choose the M45 just because of the higher damage, like we've said in the past. He has a nitro cell and he has barbed wire. I use a nitro cell because you're going to be roaming a lot with him, and the possibility of using the nitro cell is a lot higher than just setting the barbed wire and then hoping someone walks across it. So from there we can move over to his headgear, his cosmetics. I'm using this Dapper skin that I picked up not too long ago with the pack. He has a few other ones. Honestly, not a huge selection of interesting ones. But we can move then to his uniforms, and he has a legendary like the last people we've seen, and it's alright. I mean, I like the idea and the aesthetic of it, but it's not exactly something that I personally would necessarily go out of my way to get. I'm just using his camp regimen skin here as my uniform. He has a few other ones just from the normal packs, similar to Steel Wave and things like that. And from there we can push out and go to a custom game, so you can kind of see his ability outside of gameplay, and then we'll move into an actual game with him so you kind of can understand some ways to play with him, and some things he's good at and some things he gets a little caught up with. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video. So here we are in a custom game, so I can show you guys his ability, outside of the actual gameplay, so it's a little bit easier to describe it to you before you actually see it in the gameplay. So you have to specifically select it, similar to the other abilities we've seen, and it will pull out this sensor. And as I look around, we unfortunately can't look at the hostage. She does not appear to have a heart rate, which is strange, but so we can look around. So if there was an enemy on the other side of this wall, there would be a dot that would appear, and then we can track them as they run around the wall. We could look down, we can see if someone's below the hatch here. It's extremely good for situations where the enemy is gonna have to attack this upper level. So what we can do is, we see an enemy, say they were on this hatch right here. We can throw our C4 because we know that they're there, and we can detonate it. And, this would ultimately kill them or drop them down, and we'd be able to fight them and that sort of thing. The reason I think they set him as a difficulty level 3 is just because you have to be, actively doing this to use him. He's not just something that you can passively, lay down as a defender. Like, you can't just barricade it up, and his ability isn't anything super passive. So you have to kind of track people through walls, and it's really nice because you can do that, and then say I saw somebody there, you could shoot them through the wall and get a nice kill there. And it's just a really good, if you hear somebody repelling, you can kind of track as to where they're going and possibly, let your teammates know. He's a good information operator. and he is very strong at that at least. But he does get a little caught up because you have to pull this out, you have to put it away, and it does take a little bit of time. Plus, it also makes quite a bit of noise when you're closing and opening this. So there is that kind of is a drawback for him. But ultimately, he's a strong defender operator. So thank you very much, and I'll move into an actual game with him so you can kind of see it in action, and see you in the next video.
Here are the bombs.
Yeah, we're going this way, so.
Shield ready! Camera ready. Position device.
Not worth it, okay? We'll reinforce this. Jeez, that's a long. That is a ton of bands.
Down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds left. Yo guys out. Op 4 has yet to locate a bomb.
Sensor.
Op 4 found a bomb. You must defend it.
Device positioned. Deploying sensor.
Loading new magazine!
Survey.
Reloading mag! You will be detected if you remain. You will be spotted.
Deploying heartbeat sensor. Deploying heartbeat sensor. One op 4 remains. The bomb's protected.
Oh, got him. I don't even know why they put this site here. I mean, honestly, this is like the only thing I'd be like, oh yeah, they can have one site. Because technically,
Op 4 has found a bomb.
if you reinforce this enough, it's not like someone's gonna get in yet.
Evil eye in place.
Yeah. Do we want to play the hatch or not?
ATS deployed and ready to
Just
go.
open it.
10 seconds. 5 seconds to insertion.
Camera somewhere around here. Oh, there it
Located by Op 4.
AD is active in this sector.
Scanning.
Evil eye on Overwatch.
is. That's gonna be like a later date thing.
I'm gonna hang on easy.
Huh?
Okay.
Surveying. Deploying sensor.
I got diffuser on me.
Op 4 located a bomb. Protect it.
Deploying sensor.
Op 4, last stop standing. Friendly's
Good job, you
victorious.
guys.
Hostiles eliminated.
That was a good game. That was a good. That was. So ultimately, as we've talked about, he has a very strong loadout as far as his guns and his ability. He is a very good information operator. He's very good at relaying information to your team. He's also very good at roaming and kind of moving around the map because you can actually see where enemies are more so than just having to either try to use cameras, which can be shot out, or you know, just try to hear them. It's a little bit like, you know, you get a bit of an advantage through walls and through like doors or barricades. So it gives you kind of that opportunity to get a few peeks and possibly, you know, get a kill. You'll have the advantage over someone peeking around the corner because you already know that they're there. His only fallback, as I discussed in the custom game, is it does make noise to pull that out, and it also does take time to pull it out and put it away, where that can get you in some sticky situations. But he is a extremely strong operator, and I would most definitely recommend him to someone who's looking to, you know, get a little bit higher tier operator and looking to try to, you know, roam a bit more and see, you know, learn the maps and things like that. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.